The once thriving craft beer industry in the United States is facing some severe challenges. Small breweries are focused on trimming their costs while advocating for changes to what they consider outdated regulations that cut into profits. For more on the challenges facing the craft beer industry, we are joined by Stephen Beaumont. Stephen's an author and reviewer at Beaumont.com and the co-author of the World Atlas of Beer. Sounds like a pretty good job you got, Stephen.
Not too bad.
Let's talk about Anita's. I thought she did a good job of laying out the problems clearly in that one area of the country with the way craft breweries are dealing with things. But talk more about the overall trend. What's behind the drop-off in craft beer? Is it inflation alone? But it clearly seems that there are a lot of other business issues floating around out there.
Well, I think there are a number of things, both things that have come out of the last 5 to 10 years, and also things that are craft beer's own making. I think that the problem, the biggest problem, is input costs. It was mentioned in that segment, rent, ingredient costs, everything's gone up. And there really is only so far that craft brewers can raise their prices to try to recover those costs. So that's, I think, a big issue for a lot of craft brewers. But also there is this kind of, craft brewers moved itself into a corner. They started getting too cute, getting too kind of, oh, we're a private club. And if you're in the craft brew club, then you get to join. But if you're not, you don't. And I think that put a lot of people off.
Yeah. And
so,
Stephen, also that one line, it used to be a way just to print money. I mean, if that was that way, those things never last for a long time. So are consumers buying something else right now instead of beer? Are they going to bourbon? Are they going to clear liquors, wine? Are tastes evolving?
Consumers are fickle, right? I mean, we saw the seltzer boom, and all of a sudden, everybody wanted to make seltzer, and seltzer was the biggest thing. And now seltzer has crashed, and is really only Truly and White Claw left standing. So right now, we're seeing spirits-based ready-to-drinks, RTDs, which are canned cocktails, basically. A lot of people are going for those now. So there are trends that go around. I think we'll see people circle back to beer because beer is, I've always said this, it's the world's most sociable beverage.
Yeah.
You don't sit around and knock back a few cans of cannabis drinks.
Yeah.
It's just not the same sociability. So I think people will come back to beer. I don't think the situation is as dire as it's often made out to be.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so picking up on that, let's talk about the big ones out there. Anheuser-Busch, companies like that. Are they experiencing the same kind of drop in sales that craft beer is going through right now?
Oh, even more so.
Really?
It's actually much worse for the big brewers, unless you're Constellation, who own the rights to Modelo, Corona in the United States, which is huge right now. Molson Coors and Anheuser-Busch InBev are both dropping off precipitously. They've been seeing this happening for years, but being international companies, they have the advantage of having emerging markets that they can make up that lost profit in.
Huh. Why do you think people are getting away from the heavyweights, for lack of a better term, even though they're not heavy beers?
I think that people have genuinely found a taste for drinking beer. Wanting beer with flavor as opposed to wanting beer that's just basically a liquid that you can drink very easily and very quickly. With no disrespect to Anheuser-Busch InBev or Molson Coors, what they produce in the main are very, very light flavored beverages that are meant to be consumed. My co-author of the World Atlas of Beer, Tim Webb, has called them alcohol delivery devices. They're not meant to provide great flavor. They're meant to provide a sociable beverage that you can just drink with friends and get a little bit of a buzz going.
Interesting. Okay, so if you say that things perhaps aren't as bad out there for the craft breweries, as some may initially think. How are these small breweries adapting to this new business environment?
Well, the one thing that I've seen lately is a return to kind of a core unit of brands. So pre-COVID, during COVID, we saw this whole beer a week phenomenon where special releases were the big thing, especially in the late teens, 20 teens. Special releases were the main occupation of so many craft breweries. Now those same breweries are saying, oh, you know what? Let's go back to our core portfolio. Let's focus on perfecting those and forget about trying to release a new beer every week.
Okay.
Because that's just not sustainable anymore.
Well, tell me about the trends moving forward. I'm really curious about that. What you see in the near future for beer? Low alcohol beers, no alcohol beers, something sturdy, something with some flavor and color to it?
Well, people keep talking about low and no alcohol beer, and truly there is enormous growth in that segment, but that segment is minute. So as I just said to somebody at a beer festival on the weekend, you know, if you have double the percentage of a 0.01% market share, you're still only at 0.02 market share. It's still a very, very small market. And I don't think it has a huge potential in North America, because North Americans, we're learning to drink a few more non-alcoholic beers, but I don't think we're going to really embrace them long term the way the Germans or the Swiss have.
You know, when I think of those no alcohol beers, and I don't mean to laugh, but I remember one comedian say, I want that gassy, bloated feeling without the buzz. And that's all I think about when someone says that. So that really rings true. Stephen, thanks you so much for your insight. I really appreciate it. And I hope you had a great weekend. And I hope we can talk to you down the road too, my friend.
My pleasure. I look forward to talking again.
Okay.